Hello, and welcome to Kayla's Brain on Drugs. Today I'm going to talk about caffeine. I'm sure we all know someone who can't start the morning without a cup of coffee. But have you ever wondered how the caffeine in coffee wakes you up? Well, today we'll explore the biology of caffeine. To start off, caffeine is a methylxanthine with the chemical formula C8H10N4O2. It falls under the central nervous system stimulants class. Caffeine is most commonly found in coffee, tea, chocolate, energy drinks, and soft drinks. In nature, it is found in cola nuts, guarana, and yerba mate. It can also be used in prescription or over-the-counter medicines. As you probably know from experience, caffeine increases wakefulness and alertness. Caffeine also helps with headaches and migraines. It is also commonly found in weight loss supplements and can be known to help with weight loss. Here comes the big question. How does caffeine do what it does? Caffeine has 3 different biological functions. The first is relaxation of smooth muscle cells. Smooth muscle cells control blood vessels and other similar tissues. Cells communicate by what is known as a signal transduction pathway. When a cell receives a signal, the signal molecule binds to a receptor on the outside of the cell. When this happens, several different proteins change their shape. In the pathway dealing with relaxation in smooth muscle cells, the change in protein shape activates the production of a second messenger called CAMP, or CAMP, here represented by red triangles. This molecule can be produced in large numbers from a small signal. CAMP will signal the cell to relax, allowing blood vessels to dilate and increase blood flow. However, enzymes called phosphodiesterases, or PDE, break down CAMP. Once PDE breaks down CAMP, the cell stops receiving the signal to relax. When caffeine is introduced, it blocks the enzyme PDE. This allows CAMP to continue signaling the cell to relax, which continues the increased blood flow. The second effect of caffeine is central nervous system, or CNS, stimulation. Neurons are the pathways of the nervous system. Between 2 neurons there is a gap called a synapse. To continue a message from one neuron to another across the gap, molecules called neurotransmitters are used. In the CNS, there is a specific neurotransmitter called adenosine. This neurotransmitter, when passed across the gap, stops the next neuron from continuing its message. Caffeine blocks the receptors for adenosine. In this way, caffeine reduces the inhibitive effects of adenosine. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system by stopping the inhibition of the central nervous system. The final effect of caffeine involves the fight or flight response. In the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, caffeine stimulates sympathetic neurons by increasing cellular calcium concentration. This rise in cellular calcium concentration stimulates the fight or flight response. This, in turn, increases arousal and energy production, increases heartbeat, inhibits digestion, signals the liver to convert glycogen or food storage to glucose, and signals for the release of epinephrine, also known as adrenaline. Overall, these 3 things add up to form the well-known effects of caffeine. Caffeine is known to have interactions with different drugs, lifestyles, and diseases. There are 11 major drug interactions, 31 moderate drug interactions, and 40 minor drug interactions. The minor interactions include over-the-counter medications such as aspirin. As for lifestyle, caffeine is known to have an interaction with nicotine, the drug found in cigarettes. Caffeine also has mild interactions in patients with hypertension or high blood pressure and acid reflux. There is a major interaction for patients with peptic ulcers. As for pregnancy, there are no adverse effects during pregnancy. However, there are some considerations to be taken when breastfeeding. Levels of caffeine that are found in caffeinated beverages can pass to the feeding baby. However, this amount of caffeine has been found to have no adverse effects. If a mother intakes a higher than normal amount of caffeine, the baby may be irritable and have poor sleeping patterns. This is because babies' metabolisms are slow in breaking down the caffeine. Other safety issues with caffeine include the possible development of caffeineism. This is characterized by sleep disorders, anxiety, and restlessness. Also, heavy intake of caffeine has been identified as an indication for depression. Caffeine may also aggravate premenstrual syndrome or PMS. Overall, taken in moderation, caffeine is a good way to get a quick, natural pick-me-up. Knowing the science behind the things you do every day helps you understand what's going on around you, but knowing the science behind the drugs you take helps you understand what's going on inside you.